The following program is paid for by the Charlie Butler team. Looking for tips on selling your home? Tune into the Charlie Butler Show right here on WGBF AM every Sunday at 9 a.m. The Charlie Butler Show, where your questions get answers. Charlie guarantees it.
Good Sunday morning, Tri-State. This is the Charlie Butler Real Estate Show. We are short two co-hosts today. We don't have our full menagerie, but we do have one of the animals here. I'll see if I can get your whole.
I don't know. I'm listening just to see.
The president and my partner of the, not partners in wife or anything.
Business partner.
Business partner. Thank you very much. Of Butler DeArmond Real Estate Network, which is the parent company of the Charlie Butler team. She is president of that. As Candace DeArmond. Good morning, Candace.
Good morning, Charlie. That was a pretty lengthy explanation of my title that time, too.
I'm going to have to work on that. I don't believe we're going to fit all that on a business card.
I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
And so, Candace, we talked some about it last week, and we're just now getting it rolling on radio. We've got Trevor Meese and Sarah Courtney in our office who are working on the website. We've got something new coming out.
Mm-hmm. We do. The instant cash offer is coming out. We're working on that right now. We've actually got it. We've got it going. We're just getting everything on the website and kind of pinning up a few things.
Right. And the instant cash offer, if you haven't heard yet, we will make a cash offer on your home. If you're in a situation you don't want to list it, I mean, we of course would love to list your home. You know, we've had tremendous success, but if you're in a situation where you don't want to list your home, you need to move quick, got a job transfer, whatever, we will make an offer on your home within 48 hours. All cash offer. And we would probably, on average, with title work and everything, if we came together, we'd probably be able to close on that in probably around 10 days or so. Wouldn't you say, Candace?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. So everything would move very, very quick. Now, as all our team tries to be, we want to be very upfront with you. When we list your house, you know, we have some very good listing agents, Candace being one of them, and Candace spends a lot of time in finding the right price for your house, where she can get you the most money. As do our other people, Kelly Pike, Colleen Page, Tanya Gibson, Trevor Meese, Josie Ivy, and I know there's several more there, but I'm just hitting the high spots here. And they're going to do everything they can, because our mission is to get you as much as possible. Now, if you take the instant cash offer, that's more of a wholesale price, because us or an investor that is working with us, there has to be a profit there too. So it's not as good. It's not as good a price, but however, it's not a gimmick like a lot of them where you don't get your money up front. And I know those of you that have been in those, you will have your money most likely, unless there is something wrong with title, within a 10-day period. You'll have an offer within 48 hours. So you can go to WKDQ, one of the sister stations of GBF AM. I think it's running where Bobby Gates, our producer, I think that's going to get ready to start running, if it hasn't yet, on WJLT, where he is the morning show host. And I guess I should say co-host, shouldn't I, Bobby?
That's right. My better half is Liberty from the My Morning Show. Yes.
And that's definitely your better half for sure. But anyway, so that there is that. And Candace, I'm noticing from some people we're starting to see some increased activity from when there was a little bit of dip the last few months.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. With interest rates going down a little bit, we are starting to see some more movement. And I think, the weather's starting to break, and that's helping too. So we're seeing some more movement.
And that's good. So, and also we want to talk about our sponsors real quick. The Charlie Butler Team Show is brought to you by Churchill Mortgage and David Crow, who is normally with us. And David is in Florida, just enjoying himself. He didn't ask Candace or either one to go with him.
Either one of us. Kylena and I are still pretty upset about it because we're certain that he didn't ask us, because he would have had to have explained the trip to us.
Yes, David.
He's
David
not here, so I shouldn't pick on him, but I'm going to.
Yeah. For those that don't listen all the time, David made a comment one day. David and I were talking on air, and David says, "Now let me put this where you ladies."
No, he said, "Not to confuse you ladies," is what he said, and we have not let him live it down since. Yeah,
and they both acted like the dumb blondes, like, "Oh, David, don't confuse us." They just
talking about those numbers. It was just so confusing.
So David is, but anyway, David is the regional director for Churchill Mortgage, taking in all of Kentucky, all of Indiana, and does an excellent job. He's very, very personable. Would love to sit down with you, tell you how much house you can buy, get you pre-approved, and get you in your home. And if you say, "Well, I haven't heard Churchill Mortgage," if you've heard Dave Ramsey, and Dave, who was on right before us and is every Sunday, Dave, Churchill Mortgage has been an advertiser of Dave Ramsey's for over 25 years. And there's their national number on there, but that is on Dave's commercials, but that number won't get you through to David. I mean, they've got some fine people at their office in Brentwood, Tennessee. But if you want to get through to David, his number is area code 270-222-0676. And one thing, Candace, since before I talk about Bossy Title, the number that people, if anyone is interested in the instant cash offer, listing their home or other real estate questions, what number should they be calling?
Well, they can call 812-430-1708. That's our team phone. Or they can call my personal number, which is 812-455-6338.
And you could also call my cell phone, which is 812-499-7758. I'm more than just a pretty face here. Do you think that was the other day somebody told me I had a face for radio. Do you think that was a compliment, Candace?
Sure. I think so.
Also, we don't want to forget about Norm and all the good folks at Bossy Title. They are the official title company of the Charlie Butler Team Show. And so Bossy, I can't say enough about them. Candace uses them. I use them. I had someone on the team come to me the other day, and she said, I've got a deal that they want to get done in 3 days. It was a cash deal. And she said, what title company should I call? And I didn't even have to think about it. I said, call Bossy Title. And if Jeff Bossy knows something has to be done quick, and as long as there's not any issues that are out of his control, like liens, things like this, he'll get them done. He'll get cash deals done in 3 days. And he has a tremendous staff there that people like Kelly Norton, who has been there for a long time, Claire Kincaid, yeah. And I'm leaving all kinds of people
You
out.
are. I don't know why you started naming off. Norm is the only name we can talk about.
Norm has given us permission to talk about him. Norm is the CFO, which is not the chief financial officer. Norm is the chief Frenchie officer. Mm-hmm. And Norm is a very friendly French bulldog who basically runs Bossy Title. Mm-hmm. So he really is the CEO. Now, the only time you won't see Norm if the sun's out and he's laying in his bed in his office, which Jeff Bossy says is his office. But so call the folks at Bossy Title. If you're happen to be a house that you're getting in an estate, there's a divorce situation, things like this, and you just want to know what's on the title even before you're ready to sell, call them. Their pricing's great, and they're just super to work with. So Bossy Title, give them a call. And so we have a special guest today, Candace.
Yes, we do.
And it is Councilwoman Missy Mosby. Good morning, Missy.
Good morning, Charlie. How are you?
I'm doing great, and congratulations on your reelection.
Thank you very much. I'm excited to be serving another 4 years.
Now, this is how many terms now?
So I'm going into my 5th, so I've served 16 years.
Wow.
And
okay.
Yes, very fortunate to have been reelected to serve 4 more years.
So, I mean, we've got other things besides the council we want to talk about, but Missy, are there some things that you are looking to get done during this term that you would like to talk about?
Yes, and I know we've spoken about this before, Charlie. We need to really take a deep dive into some of our codes and ordinances and do some updating and, actually get other people involved. I think Mayor Terry also is looking into doing this so we can all collaborate and update some of our codes. I know you've talked to me about some different issues and concerns as well as other realtors and builders. So we really want to get the community involved and do what's best for Evansville.
And some of those, as you know, have been there since the 1940s and need to be updated.
We need to do updating, absolutely.
And some need to be updated. Yeah, there may be stuff that need to be added and stuff that needs to go away. So
exactly.
But I know with yourself and I, like you said, with Mayor Terry involved too. And as I told you I was going to, I'm putting in another plug for the Evansville Symphonic Band to get them back in the budget. It's they fill up Central Auditorium every summer, and would love to see that. Would love to see the city sponsoring one of those concerts. So
we'll have to see what we can do, and if not, maybe there's some listeners out there that would like to help sponsor.
Absolutely, because it is for the senior citizens in our community. They like I said, they fill it up, and it is, and you've got professional musicians there. You got for those of you that know jazz, there's a trumpet player there that played for years in Maynard Ferguson. And for those that don't know jazz, Maynard Ferguson was a big time jazz trumpeter. So, but anyway, we really weren't going to talk much about the council today, Missy. Missy's very, very involved in different animals. I started in different animal charities. That didn't come out right the first time. Okay,
Charlie. We never know what you're going to say.
We really do not.
I know,
but we love you.
I don't even know what I'm going to say sometimes, Missy. But anyway, no, that was no reflection on your boyfriend, Missy. About calling him an animal. Okay, which I better just leave that alone and move on because there's no way I can come out on this deal. But Missy has Buddy's Promise. And you want to tell them first about Buddy's Promise?
Yes. So I started Buddy's Promise. It's basically named after a Yorkie of mine that lived to be almost 16 years old. And when he was passing away, I made a promise that I am going to actually help other animals and rescues and, just see what we can do to work together as a community to help save more lives of dogs, cats, and animals. So that's how Buddy's Promise got started, and I do it in his memory.
Right, and I've always, I know how passionate you are about this, but right now, and I know you're involved in the rescues and so many different things, but right now one of the focal points is the Vanderburgh County Animal Control, who tries to do very good work, but they are up against a problem right now, aren't they, Missy?
Yes. Back when COVID started, the shelters and everything, everyone was adopting cats, dogs, whatever. We're at the rescues because people were working from home. Mm-hmm. And that day that we all dreaded and feared is here. Now people are back to work. They're kind of, for lack of a better term, they're tired of taking care of their pets. And all of our shelters, every single one of them that you talk to, they're full. And unfortunately, when that happens, animal control is forced to have to euthanize. And, there's nothing else that we can do. We don't have enough fosters. We don't have enough adopters. We don't have enough kennels to house all the needs. So thank you for having me on the show today so that we can bring some awareness to animal control and, have people maybe go over there to volunteer to, if you're looking to adopt a cat or dog or pet, make sure you go to our animal control because unfortunately, it's a city-controlled entity, and if the space is full, they do have to euthanize.
And animal control is different than going to. I want to make sure that the listeners know it's not now it's
not Vanderburgh Humane Society.
Right.
It's
Humane Society, or there's the one that's in Newburgh.
Yes. Yeah, and the Vanderburgh Humane Society and Animal Control have actually been partnering a lot. They've got a billboard on several different streets right now, and they're trying to bring awareness to both shelters so that we can, because I know Vanderburgh Humane's been full as well. So that we can get people in and start adopting and volunteering or fostering, do whatever we can to help alleviate this issue. One of the big things would be to start by spay and neutering your animals.
Right. Yeah.
So Missy, you mentioned fostering, and for those that are not familiar with fostering an animal, you want to go over what that involves?
Yes. Fostering is great because it's actually a trial run. So if you're even thinking about adopting a cat or dog or rabbit, you can foster this animal and give it love. I know a lot of the animals that I bring in, they're from puppy mills and they're puppy mill breeders. And, a lot of them have never been on grass. They've never eaten from an actual bowl of food. Everything's just thrown in there. They've never had human touch. So a lot of times you're bringing this foster into your family to basically reteach them on how to live like a dog or a cat. And to teach them that humans are loving and that we do care about you, and get them acclimated to living inside a house and just really being open to love. So it's amazing. But, with that fostering, like I said, it's a trial run. Fosters usually get the first pick on adoption if they want to adopt. Also, the rescue pays for the any type of vaccinations or spay and neuter. Sometimes if you need help with food, the actual rescue that you're fostering for will take care of those for you.
Okay,
and they'll pay for those expenses.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep, that's good to get out to people, because I think that does keep people sometimes from going ahead and adopting. Now, as far as fostering, how does that work exactly?
Yes, so each rescue kind of has their own terms on how you can foster. You can usually go online and fill out a application to foster, and they will check references and get with you. And if you see an animal or cat or dog that you would like to foster, then you reach out to that shelter and they can make that happen.
Okay. And what happens if you're fostering and you fall in love?
Oh, you know what? I call that a foster fail, and that's the best type of failure you can ever have. I've failed many times. But yeah, so you usually get first choice of if you want to adopt that animal into your family and make it a forever home.
Okay. That's good to know.
Yes.
That's what, if I fostered, I'd end up with 100 dogs.
You'd be like me.
Yeah.
And you'd have to have an assemblage permit.
Right.
Candace, your dog would love to have another dog in there.
Well, he would. I don't know if the other dog would love Lenny as much because he doesn't have very good social skills. He doesn't pick up on, he doesn't read the room at all. He thinks dogs still want to play when they don't. And yeah.
I always say, what's one more?
Right. I know. Well, I had, at minimum, we had 3 dogs at all times whenever I was growing up. So, yeah, one dog is a little different.
I have 9.
Oh, wow. Well, that's a lot.
Now I asked Candace how her kids are doing, and she tells me about Lenny before she tells her about her son Mason. That's.
I do. Lenny doesn't talk back. Mason doesn't either.
Mason is a good kid.
He is.
And Candace is going to bring him in one day so I can sit down and have a talk with him.
Nope. Yeah. I will not bring Mason into the office. I'm keeping him as far away from Charlie as possible. He was going to take him out for his 21st birthday. He had all kinds of plans. Show him how to text and drive. I have absolutely said that was never going to happen on all those things. So
I can kind of understand why.
Yeah.
I can't either. I wonder why I got that restraining order from you that I have to stay 500 feet away from Mason.
Right. I mean, I don't even like bringing Lenny into the office. I'm afraid of what you'll teach him.
You have all kinds of dogs hanging around if I get Pete Flanagan.
Oh, here we go. Yeah.
No. Anyway, so Missy, I know obviously you're looking for people to foster and to adopt, of course.
Yes.
And now I think you mentioned earlier if you come in there and adopt, and someone, and let's face it, going to the vet, it's expensive now.
Yes.
We all know that have animals. I believe, is animal control helping with the cost of whether it be neutering, whether it be the vaccinations, anything like that?
Absolutely. So animal control does spay and neuter before you actually get to adopt. In fact, all rescues do that. They also do up to date on vaccinations as well as microchipping. Yeah, and also I just want to make sure people, when you lose your pet, please go in and check at animal control as well to see if your animal has ended up there at that shelter, because we've got a lot of strays trying to find their owners, and that would help free up some kennel space as well.
So, just there's someone who has lost their pet.
Yes.
Where's animal control located at?
So it is over off of First Avenue on Yulehorn. So if you're heading towards First Avenue, before you get to that little bridge there where there's a car wash, you'll turn to the west on Yulehorn, and it's there on your right-hand side.
Okay. So, and can people call there to get information?
Actually, it's best to go in because it's hard for the animal control officers to, know exactly which animals are there because we have such an influx of animals coming in. So it's better to just go there during business hours, and they are closed on Sunday. But go in there, take a look around, and also always make sure you post your lost pet on Evansville Lost Pets on Facebook.
And you cleared it up pretty well today, but I think we want to make sure people understand. I think so many people, and I'll tell you what, I sort of did until I got involved in a fundraiser there with Dilip Patel.
Yes.
At Animal Control. That Humane Society was more like where they put pets that they wanted to keep and they adopt. And Animal Control was more, they were going to put them to sleep. And that's not necessarily the case.
No. So animal control, our officers are very loving. They love animals, and the last thing they want to do is have to put them to sleep. But, unfortunately, if we can't get people in there to adopt from the shelter, or, we do have wonderful rescue associations that come in and help pull dogs and cats and other animals so that we don't have to euthanize. But at the end of the day, if we're out of kennel space, the next day there's going to be more animals coming in. So they do have to euthanize. And owner surrenders are the first ones to be euthanized. The other strays are put on a stray hold.
I know that there are people that do have to come in and surrender their pets sometimes because of financial reasons or age. Is there any recommendation you can give them of what they can do when maybe they can't afford that pet anymore? Maybe it's got older, the vet bills became very high, and they're on a fixed income. Have you any recommendations on what they can do?
There are times people have situations beyond their control, and they do have to surrender their animals, and it's very sad. My suggestion would be maybe reach out to a rescue that does have fosters that could get the animal into a home with a foster, instead of just having to surrender to animal control, where we unfortunately do have to euthanize. So my suggestion is always, reach out and see if there's another rescue or someone that can foster. And please never put your pet for free on social media, because there's a lot of bad situations your pet can end up. But, I know it's sad and a lot of people hate to have to surrender their pets. But if you do, please try to reach out to a local shelter that could possibly find a foster and find a home for them.
Yeah, and don't take them to animal control or some shelter. Don't just take them out and dump them.
Thank you. Please do not dump your pets.
That's and Missy, I just want to make sure we make it clear here so people understand. Animal control does not want to euthanize.
No,
they will as long as they have kennel space, they won't euthanize. Is that correct?
Exactly. They do whatever they can. They partner with several other rescues, but at the end of the day, everyone's full right now. So in order to help this issue, spay and neuter, definitely, but please consider fostering. We need some good fosters, and we need people to actually go into animal control in our shelters to adopt. If you can't adopt, go volunteer. Go help that animal that's struggling, that needs a little human touch, so that we can get the animal adopted.
I know we're getting close to being out of time, Missy, but another thing we haven't even mentioned, Missy is actually, we don't look at each other this way because we are good friends, but she is a competitor. She's also a realtor with FC Tucker. And Missy, you want to give them your number on how they can get a hold of you for any real estate needs?
Well, if they have any questions or anything too about Buddy's Promise or fostering, please, you can call me at 812-453-6479.
And in case you don't remember that, the way I always remember it is 453-MISSY.
That's right.
And is that shows up on your cell phone too. I've got your number in there, so I don't know. Anything else that you want to bring up before we run out of time, Missy?
I just want to thank you for the opportunity to, try to educate people and let them know that rescues and shelters are full, and whatever we as a community can do to try to help save lives. So thank you for the opportunity to do that.
Missy Mosby, thank you very much. That is Councilwoman Missy Mosby, just reelected for her fifth term, and but besides congratulating on that, you had a rather solid win too.
I did 65%, so very excited.
So that a nice mandate from Missy. Missy, as always, you were great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Again, thanks to Missy Mosby. Candace, have a great week. I'll see you later on.
Okay, I will see you later.
And Bobby, appreciate you sitting in for Jordan. Even if you are a Cub fan, I'm gonna say something nice about you. Bobby actually is a nice guy. I don't know how he became a Cub fan. so anyway, for Missy Mosby, Candace DeArmond, Bobby G, this is Charlie Butler. Have a great Sunday.
You've got real estate questions but don't know where to get the answers? Tune in here every Sunday morning at 9 a.m. as Charlie Butler, Evansville's own real estate expert, shares the latest news, info, and insider tips to help you make smart real estate decisions. Find him online at charliebutlerteam.com. This program has been paid for by the Charlie Butler team. From the Kate Foppel Ford Studios, this is News Talk 1280 WGBF.